I now have a question about voluntourism for Sue, and this one's come from our survey from Harriet from Victoria, and she asks, what is your view on volunteering? Is it giving or is it taking?
That's a really good question. Look, I think the most important thing to state from the outset is that we are not just on the cusp of voluntourism. We're actually riding the wave of something that is incredibly popular at the present time and has been for the last decade, but growing over the decade. And that with that, you know, the appetite for voluntourism has morphed into two main sectors, being those that involve activities to do with children in orphanages or in schools, or interactions with wildlife. So that sort of interfaces really well with what Lee and yourself have been talking about this evening. And that, you know, that those two sectors are obviously very vulnerable and there is very open to exploitation. So I think the important thing in terms of giving and taking comes down to the physical project and travellers having a very good understanding of what the project is and being very discerning about what their involvement is going to transpire into something positive and meaningful that gives a real, and that there's a real need at the end of the day for the local community or the environment that is going to deliver something tangible, meaningful and sustainable for that environment. The other thing, of course, is that I think travellers need to ask some very potent questions and they need to research very carefully when they are embarking on voluntourism. And the things they should be asking are things like, how was this project sourced? Was the real need identified? Do I feel comfortable with that? Do I have the skill set to participate in this? If I'm going to be involved in teaching, am I a qualified teacher? If I'm going to be prescribing medical treatment, am I qualified to do that? You know, what is going to be the real benefit for the community and is it sustainable into the long term? So these all become very, very important qualifications for a traveller to make. And what I would say is that is very difficult and that we would always defer travellers to the experts. So people like, you know, No More Orphanages and World Animal Protection and the IIPT and Leave No Trace have fantastic websites and they are the authorities. They have a very rich environment that travellers can go to get a better understanding and also to talk to experts if they are considering embarking on these types of adventures.
Thank you, Sue.